Yes then YouTube, we are back with another video on the Wolf of an Aston Villa podcast, brought to you by myself, Connor Wolf. Drop this video a like, drop a comment down below. I love having an engaging conversation with you people. And if you can hit that subscribe button to my channel, that would mean the world to me. Also, I'm proudly sponsored by Luke Roper. So if you do want to check out Luke's website, the link is down in the description below. Luke1977.com. Use the code WOLF20, all one word, for 20% off your whole order, including sale items. So definitely go and check it out with the summer sale on. Now, today's video is an interesting video. I was going to have a match preview out for the Newcastle game. I did do my predicted lineup in yesterday's video, so if you do want to go and check that out, please do so. A bit of a bombshell dropped late last night on Twitter, so without any further ado, I'm just going to get straight into it and show you what I mean. Aston Villa are open to the sale of Cameron Archer by, of course, the one, the only David Ornstein, who is probably as tier 1 as you can get, so he will not be saying this unless it is concrete facts. And this come in his article where we have agreed to sell Aaron Ramsey to Burnley for 14 million, and then it did drop at the end of the article, well, about halfway through, but towards the end. Aston Villa are open to the sale of Cameron Archer amid strong interest from many suitors. And that got me thinking, YouTube, that I actually think this will happen, because I don't know whether anyone agrees. I don't really take pre-season I don't really look too much into it, but one thing I would have said during this pre-season, which I actually think went very well for our team, Aston Villa, I don't think Cameron Archer played that well, and I don't think he really took that chance. Now, I'm going to go from some information that some people may or may not know. Now, Dan Bardell, who is, of course, very well connected with Villa, he does do his own podcast on the 1874 website, well, YouTube channel. He did say at the start of pre-season that we had agreed a deal to buy Tammy Abraham back. I don't know how true that is, but for him to have said it, it must mean there is some truth in it. And that got me thinking that maybe the plan all along was to buy another striker and to then sell Cameron Archer. But then, of course, Tammy Abraham did do I think he did his ACL, didn't he? So he is out for pretty much all of this season. Villa, of course, then haven't signed Tammy Abraham. And then I think the plan then changed to then say, all right, okay, so Cameron Archer, this is what I think has happened. Unai Emery has then thought to himself, well, Cameron Archer did really well at Middlesbrough last season and really well at Preston the season before. I'm going to get him in, see if I like him, and if I do, we then won't spend that money on another striker, right? And then as pre-season has gone on, I think Unai Emery hasn't been as impressed with Cameron Archer as most of us have been. I think that Unai Emery has thought, I don't. Some managers just don't like certain players, do they? Don't like the way that they play it. I think Unai Emery maybe just goes to Cameron Archer, look, I'm not going to play you that much, so I think it is best if we sell. So I think we've now gone back to the original plan, which probably was to actually always sell Cameron Archer and to then buy another striker of that Tammy Abraham mould. Now, the value that I personally, of course, I'm not Aston Villa's chairman, I'm not Monchi, I'm not Unai Emery, I'm not Johan Langer. I wouldn't sell Cameron Archer for anything less than 25 million. And that is really what I wouldn't sell him for. I think a couple of seasons ago, Brewster went from Liverpool to Sheffield United for 20 million quid. Cameron Archer is a much better player than Ryan Brewster, however you say. Is that Ryan Brewster? He is a much better player than Brewster. So I think anywhere north of 25 million would get the deal done. And I think there would be a lorry load of clubs looking at him for that price. The only issue I've got is I really hope we don't regret this. I think Cameron Archer has the potential to really score a lot of goals in the Premier League. I still stand by it. As much as I love Ollie Watkins, Cameron Archer is a much better finisher than Ollie Watkins, right? In my opinion. Like, you look at the way Cameron Archer is a natural, the way that he shoots and that. He is a type of player that is just a natural in front of goal. Whereas Ollie Watkins, I know he's got a different parts of his game. Trust me, I know that. But if I'm talking just finishing-wise, I would back Cameron Archer in a one-on-one to score more goals than Ollie Watkins in the Premier League. But of course, in the Premier League, you can't just rely on your finishing ability. Like, look at the work that Ollie Watkins does for the team. We are a much better team when Ollie Watkins plays than when he's not, because Watkins has he can run in behind, he can hold the ball up. One thing that's actually really underrated for Watkins now is his link-up play, in my opinion. He is very good at linking the play up now, where previously I didn't think he was, but now I really do think he is a very good link-up play player. So anything north of 25 million for Cameron Archer is probably what I would accept, and I would 100%, like we've done with the Aaron Ramsey deal where he's going to Burnley, I would have a buyback clause in that contract for absolute dead cert. Say we sell him for 25 million, have that buyback clause for 40 million, 35 million. Have it, and have it valid for the next 2-3 years. And we say, look, if he develops into the player that a lot of people think he will develop into, we want him back for 25-30 million, and we will then play you at that point, right? So, very interesting news. I'm a little bit disappointed in a way because, you know, it's always a good feeling having a young youth player come through and make it into the team. But I think as Villa are getting better, which we are, these younger players have to actually be a lot better to get into the team, if you kind of know what I'm saying. Because if you think about it in a linear way, like just straight up, as Aston Villa get better, if the youngsters don't get better, the youngsters won't get into the team, because we're getting a better team, which then means the youngsters have to be better to get into the team, right? So realistically, we then want the youngsters to be constantly improving as well to then get into the team. Like Kellyman on the pre-season tour, he looks... Give him 2 years, he'll be a starter in our team, in my opinion. He's got the technical ability, he's got the ability to drive with the ball. He's big as well, which is good when you're a young player because it means that you're able to stand up to the physicality of the Premier League. I am disappointed with the Cameron Archer news, but the more I think about it, the more I think Villa want to get to where we want to quickly. We don't want to pat our backs on youngsters. We put it like this. I think if we are to sell Cameron Archer, which I really do believe we will, I think we will spend quite big on that striker. Whether it be a João Felix, a Ferran Torres, a Brennan Johnson. We have been heavily linked with Zaniolo in the last couple of hours since last night. I will probably drop a video on that tomorrow. So there are links out there to players that we are obviously heavily interested in. It's just all down to getting the right player in. The longer the João Felix saga goes on, the more I really think we're a player in that game. I really do. I think João Felix has constantly knocked us back. Even it's funny, you know, like I get at the time in January João Felix knocking us back for Chelsea. But if you then look how the season finished for Chelsea and Villa, like Villa were up here, Chelsea were down here in 12th, like he would have actually been a lot better off coming to Villa on loan because he'd have played every game. He'd have done well because we were a good team and we are a good team. So he would have had then a lorry load of suitors this summer, including Villa, that would have gone, yeah, we want you. But it's funny how the world works. But expect to sell Cameron Archer, in my opinion. David Ornstein isn't the type of journalist that's going to put his name to something unless it is pretty dead cert. I just think it's an absolute cert. I think with Watkins and Diaby up front, we are light. And it's something that I will say. We will not sell Cameron Archer unless we are guaranteed to buy a replacement, because a lot of people, including myself, probably think we're light up front anyway, and that's with Cameron Archer in the squad. If we are then to sell Cameron Archer, I think we are way too light. Like we need one or two new. We need another wide player and another striker, in my opinion. I think the ideal player though is like a João Felix, Brennan Johnson, Ferran Torres. These type of players that can kind of play anywhere along the front three. Again, probably why we went for Diaby when Nico Williams turned us down, because Diaby can play on the left, up front, on the right. Looks like he's going to be playing up front with Watkins as a 2. I like it. Man City are probably going to be using a 2-man striker attack as well. So if we do sell Archer, which I think we will, like you don't, David Ornstein, Fabrizio Romano, they don't put their name to stuff unless it's happening. So Villa will have a lorry load of suitors. Anything above 25 million, and I think that's good. Remember, he is an academy graduate as well, so he is pure profit on the FFP like Aaron Ramsey. So Aaron Ramsey for 14 million and then Cameron Archer for 25. That would be nearly 40 million in sales just this summer alone for academy graduates. When you then think that we've only spent 72 million on Ferran Torres and Diaby, that means we've only spent 30 million net this summer so far. So expect us to go big if Cameron Archer goes. But let me know in the comment section down below, YouTube. Would you sell Cameron Archer? I've got a feeling there is going to be a lot of no's. I've actually always been of the opinion with you. I probably still wouldn't sell because I think there is some serious potential there. Like I think, if you think of Cameron Archer, I think he can score. You give him a full season in the Premier League, I'm convinced he could score double figures. Convinced. And for a 21-year-old, that is good going. So yeah, let me know in the comment section down below, YouTube. Would you sell Cameron Archer? And if you don't want to, but you kind of like understand why we are selling him, what would be the fee you'd sell him for? So thank you for watching. Drop this video a like, drop a comment down below, and if you can hit that subscribe button to my channel, that would mean the world to me. Thank you for watching. Remember, spread the love and positivity. PMA, positive mental attitude. Peace out. One love. Up the Villa.